Hello, my name is Maria Tobin, and I serve as the Program Manager for the South Sound Military and Communities Partnership. Due to this year's government shutdown, SSMCP was unable to hold our semi-annual Elected Officials Council meeting, where we typically present our upcoming work plan. Instead, I've created a brief video presentation that highlights our key priorities, ongoing initiatives, and how we are aligning regional, state, and federal efforts to support JBLM and our surrounding communities. For those who may be new to our work, SSMCP is a regional multi-jurisdictional partnership supporting Joint Base Lewis McChord. Our mission is to strengthen coordination, improve resilience, and enhance quality of life for military families by addressing issues at the intersection of the military and civilian communities across Pierce and Thurston counties. We work across sectors, local governments, state agencies, federal partners, corporations, nonprofits, and of course JBLM to support the long-term health and vitality of the South Sound region. You might be asking, why does this matter? Well, great defense communities like ours form the backbone of mission success. As threats evolve, defense communities play a growing role in national resilience, addressing challenges that extend well beyond the installation fence line. From protecting critical infrastructure to sustaining readiness, our role has never been more essential. And that's why our mission is to focus on all the issues that you see arising at the left of your slide at the nexus of our military-civilian community intersection. Here's a quick overview of our 2026-27 SSMCP work plan, which involves 7 tasks that you see on this slide. The first task involves advancing key resilience and infrastructure projects through the implementation of our MIR study. The second task includes elevating visibility of the statewide defense contributions by promoting our statewide defense economic impact study. The third task involves strengthening support systems for our service members and improving our military family quality of life. The fourth task has to do with improving mobility and climate readiness as we advocate for I-5 improvements and the restoration of the Nisqually River Delta. The fifth task involves ensuring long-term land use compatibility through joint land use planning. And the sixth task concerns aligning efforts across Washington's defense communities through statewide defense advocacy. The seventh and final task includes working with the Commercial Aviation Working Group to site another commercial airport in the state of Washington. For the remainder of this presentation, I'll walk you through each of these priorities in more detail, starting with the MIR implementation. SSMCP's first major task is advancing the recommendations from the DoD-funded Military Installation Readiness Review that was completed in 2024. The study evaluated more than 7,500 mission-critical assets across 9 FEMA lifelines, ranked them based on the likelihood and severity of environmental disaster impacts. From that analysis, the top 3 priority implementation projects were advanced through our Resiliency Action Plan. So starting from the left, the first project is our transportation study, which builds on existing regional transportation planning with a narrowed focus on all roads, rail lines, and ports moving personnel and equipment to and from JBLM. The second project concerns communications interoperability and identifies gaps in communications between Pierce and Thurston counties, JBLM, and emergency response agencies, and provides clear recommendations and funding guidance to eliminate those gaps. The final project concerns energy grid readiness and assesses vulnerabilities in the region's power grid, evaluates outages and disruptions, risks, and develops strategies to improve redundancy, reliability, and emergency response. It's important to know that this work is funded through the Office of Local Defense Community Cooperation, old CC, within the Department of Defense and is available exclusively to communities that support military installations and their missions. Defense is one of Washington's largest but least understood economic sectors, and SSMCP wants to change that. When leaders, communities, and policymakers clearly understand the scope and value of the defense sector, they are better equipped to protect it, invest in it, plan around it, leverage it, and advocate for it. In 2024, the Washington State Legislature funded the State Defense Economic Impact Study. This study confirmed what we already knew, that Washington's defense economy was quietly generating tens of billions of dollars annually, supporting hundreds of thousands of jobs, and anchoring key industries such as aerospace, shipbuilding, logistics, healthcare, and technology. Yet, unlike nearly every one of our other major industries in the state of Washington, the defense sector often remains invisible to policymakers and the public, despite being a major pillar of Washington's economy. Socializing this impact gives lawmakers the data and language they need to justify investments, prioritize defense-related funding, explain decisions to constituents, and get bipartisan support for military community initiatives. For this reason, SSMCP wants to leverage the economic impact study to conduct information, education, and awareness campaigns. The second component to this task is continuing to promote and enhance the use of the Defense Community Compatibility Account, which supports military compatible studies, along with infrastructure, transportation, environmental and resiliency planning, along with housing, childcare, and quality of life planning. This planning is often required before federal agencies are willing to invest, making DCCA the on-ramp to larger federal awards. The DCCA also aligns state investment with federal defense priorities, helping to ensure projects are grant-ready, regionally coordinated, and competitive at the national level. In short, the DCCA increases success rates for federal funding for defense community compatibility projects, and for this reason, we will continue to promote and enhance the use of the DCCA. Task number 3. Quality of life is not a side issue, I can assure you. In fact, it's central to readiness, economic strength, and community resilience. When military families thrive, the installation thrives, and when the installation thrives, the region thrives. DoD, Congress, and our states increasingly recognize that military family resilience equals mission resilience. For this reason, SSMCP advances this priority by exploring workforce pipelines for our military spouses and exiting service members through community partnerships. We'll be supporting the development of a regional resource hub for military families. We'll continue to expand access for childcare throughout the South Sound. We'll advocate for educational support for our military children. And we'll continue collaborating to improve behavioral health access through the South Sound. Finally, new this year, SSMCP will also be addressing military family food insecurity because, frankly, it's just the right thing to do. Supporting military families is both a moral responsibility and a strategic investment in our region's long-term strength. Task number 4. SSMCP wants to continue to advocate for critical I-5 improvements and support the Nisqually Delta restoration, recognizing their shared importance to mobility, mission readiness, and environmental health. For this reason, SSMCP will defend the $54 million funding that was awarded to complete this project through the NEPA phase, where a preferred alternative will be identified within the 27-29 biennium. We feel that this funding is important because without it, we can expect to lose project continuity, see possible delays with the NEPA, and we can certainly expect that the longer we wait to complete this project, that the cost of this project is going to rise significantly. Task number 5. Collaborative planning between JBLM and surrounding local governments helps to ensure community growth and military operations remain compatible over the long term. At its core, a JLUS is about protecting the mission while supporting responsible regional development. Next year, SSMCP will apply for another Old CC grant to complete this JLUS study. Once approved in 2027, we will reconstitute a JLUS task force and update the Joint Land Use Study with the purpose of promoting land use compatibility between community growth and military operations. It will improve communication among military, local governments, and stakeholders, and identify, mitigate conflicts affecting training and readiness. It also supports economic development that aligns with our military operations and develops strategies that ensure long-term use compatibility. Task number 6 pertains to informing and educating state legislators about SSMCP and advocacy and state-level activities. Now that you know what a substantial contribution to the defense industry is to the overall state economy, it makes sense why SSMCP would want to promote a unified statewide defense community office. SSMCP will continue to advocate for the statewide leadership of defense communities by educating our legislators and fostering a unified network of Washington defense communities. This statewide defense network is very important because it protects economic assets tied to our military installations, ensures compatible land use around our military bases, strengthens military and community ties. It provides a centralized point of contact for our installations and streamlines coordination on encroachment, emergency response, and policy. Finally, the statewide coordination improves alignment between state and federal priorities. Our 7th and final task has to do with commercial aviation engagement. SSMCP will engage, when appropriate, with the Commercial Aviation Working Group established through House Bill 1791. This working group is evaluating long-range commercial aviation needs across the state of Washington, including alternatives to new airport sites and potential expansion of existing facilities. SSMCP will engage with this Commercial Aviation Working Group tasked with making recommendations to meet the state's growing demand for commercial and passenger aviation services. SSMCP opposes any recommendation that is incompatible with the operations of Joint Base Lewis-McChord. Now that you are very well versed in SSMCP's upcoming biennial work plan, I want to stress that our work plan is built on one simple truth. The strength of JBLM and the strength of our surrounding communities are truly inseparable. Each priority we've outlined here sits at the intersection of mission readiness and community well-being. These challenges cannot be solved by one jurisdiction or organization alone because they require shared leadership, shared investment, and sustained collaboration. And that is the role SSMCP is so proud to fulfill. Over the next biennium, this work plan moves us from planning to action. It aligns local, state, and federal priorities, strengthens our ability to compete for funding, and deepens our civil-military partnerships, so both region and installation can thrive. Together, we are strengthening our communities, protecting the mission, and investing in a shared future for the South Sound and Washington State. For more information on our work, please visit us at www.ssmcp.org. In closing, thank you so much for your continued partnership and leadership in support of our great American defense community. We couldn't do it without you. Our greatest strength is the partnership we share, and through it, we will continue to shape a resilient, ready, and vibrant South Sound.